Updates from the Republic of Benin. I'll be telling you guys how the 7th December coup started and how the coup was thwarted and was foiled. I'm going to narrate the story in English because of English speakers, because it's not everybody that understands French. The messages and news have been coming out in French, and it's only circulating within the French countries. So it's only the French speakers that knows what happened, how the coup started, what really happened, and how it ended. So my own message, I'll be bringing it out in English because English speakers are much in this world more than French speakers. So I'll be telling you guys exactly what happened in English in details without missing anything. That's the reason why I even wrote down everything so that I will not miss anything. On Sunday, 7th of December 2025, a small group of soldiers launched an unrest. Their main objective was nothing less than to remove the president from power, forcefully take control of the institution, and overturn the constitutional order. In order for them to succeed, their first move was to neutralize or kidnap some key generals, some armies, the chief of army staff and other generals. And around 2 a.m. in the morning, the coup plotters went to the house of General Bada. This is General Bada. General Bada is the director of the military cabinet of the president. When they got to his house, the general managed to escape, but tragically, his wife was fatally wounded during the attack and she lost her life. Our condolences to General Bada. When all these things was happening, the closest military barracks that can respond quickly was the Togben military barracks, and the Togben military barracks failed to respond quickly to what was happening. But because the Togben military barracks failed to respond quickly, the barracks commander, Colonel Faizu Gomina, was ordered to go to the General Bada's residence, unknowingly to him that the general has been attacked already. You understand? It was all planned in order to capture him too, and he was not aware that the General Bada's house has been attacked by the coup plotters and his wife has been unalived. When he arrived at the general's residence, the coup plotters successfully assaulted him and hold him hostage. So when they hold him hostage, when he was in captivity, another group of soldiers managed to go to the barracks, and they entered inside the barracks and took over the barracks, and the coup began to take shape right inside the Togben military barracks. At the same time, another group of coup plotters headed to the house of General Abu Issa. Abu Issa is the chief of army staff. When they go to his house, he fought back fiercely, but he was eventually kidnapped by another group of rebels. Those rebels came disguising as reinforcements, unknowingly to him that all of them, they are all the same thing. They came as reinforcements, and he thought maybe they came for reinforcement, not knowing that they are all working together. Those are the people that overpowered him and captured him. Then, after that, the rebels then left the Togben military barracks. When they were leaving, they left with ammunitions, heavy armored cars, and a lot of things. They used and left the Togben military barracks. When they left there, around 5 a.m. in the morning, they launched their most critical attack. They moved towards the president's residence. But unfortunately to them, the National Guard was already aware of what's happening and was patiently waiting for them to arrive at the president's house. When they got there, a violent gun battle erupted between the coup plotters and the National Guard. There were casualties on both sides, and the president himself witnessed everything, witnessed the clashes alongside the National Guard when they were exchanging gunfires with the coup plotters. But when the coup plotters were overwhelmed by the resistance of the National Guard, they retreated and moved toward the National TV, station, SRTB. When they got there, they briefly took over the TV station and released a statement. And their plan was they wanted the population to come out to support them, but they were disappointed because we, the Beninese citizens, we don't have their time, and we don't want a coup, such a thing to happen in our country. They stayed at the national TV and released a statement, but quickly, some loyal security forces quickly stormed the national TV building, and some of the coup plotters panicked and quickly abandoned their position and ran away. Some of the coup plotters were arrested on spot right at the national TV. Then the rebels, they still regrouped themselves again, and they tried to open another battlefront at the Togben military barracks where they started the coup. But because they still have mission, they still have ammunition over there, they still have a armored car and still have a lot of military vehicles and everything over there. So they wanted to open another battlefront at the Togbe military barracks. The Republican army from other barracks quickly responded and surrounded the Togbe military barracks, ready for a final assault. But because the area is heavily populated, the commander-in-chief decided to authorize a targeted airstrikes to avoid civilian casualties, because that Togbe area, there are a lot of population there. So if they say that they are going to force in to enter inside the Togbe military barracks, those coup plotters will exchange fires, and the troops of the country, they also exchange fire with them. And in that case, there won't be casualties only on the army side. The civilians also, there will be casualties on their side. So that was when Nigeria came in. Nigeria under the acting under the ECOWAS regional cooperation. Nigeria joined the operation. The Nigerian Army Air Force now came in around 5 in the evening. Yeah, 5. We call 5 deserter. So they came around 5 in the evening and carried out some strikes that disabled some armored vehicles without any loss of life. They carried out their strikes, but there were no casualties. Nobody lost their life. None of those coup plotters as well lost their life. Those our civilians, none of them also lost their life. So the last surviving rebels ran away by nightfall. They left the military barracks. They ran away by nightfall. The Togbe military barracks was later taken back under control in the evening. Around evening time, the army and the National Guard took over the Togbe military barracks. And also, an ECOWAS standby force of Nigerian soldiers was deployed at the base to support the Beninese army, and we really appreciate that. A special forces unit from Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire, also arrived in Cotonou that same evening, reinforcing regional solidarity. By early Monday morning, those kidnapped generals, the Ken Abuisa and Faizu Gomina, the two generals that was kidnapped, were found and free in Chauru, where the running coup plotters had taken them to. After the crisis, the government observed a moment of silence for those who lost their lives and expressed support for the wounded. Investigations have been ordered to identify everyone involved in the coup, to determine responsibilities and evaluate the material damage, including harm suffered by civilians, so that the state can provide compensation to them. And the President Patrice Talon, thanked the people of Benin for their support and commitment to peace, and he congratulated the army for their loyalty and sense of republican duty. He also ordered that the family of soldiers who lost their lives while defending the nation be fully supported. The president praised and thanked the solidarity of ECOWAS, especially Nigeria and Côte d'Ivoire. Finally, the government called on all Beninese citizens to draw strength from these difficult moments and to continue building a strong, resilient nation where everyone remains accountable for actions that threaten the country. The president affirmed his confidence that Benin will continue moving forward and that all lessons must be learned so that such events never happen again. We really appreciate everybody. We really appreciate your support and everything. And I hope the message I delivered, you understand perfectly how it happened and how the coup was later foiled and how the country is peaceful. We are very peaceful now. As I'm delivering this message to you, I'm delivering this message from Cotonou. I live in Cotonou. This is where I was born. This is where I raised up. I'm living here, so you can hear everywhere is quiet. Nothing. It was as if nothing happened. Even on the Sunday when this coup started, when it was happening, I personally, I was outside. I was moving. I was in a vehicle moving throughout the day, walking, and it was as if nothing was happening, but something was actually happening. Understand? I only saw a Nigerian fighter jet. That was when I noticed that yes, something was happening. So the country is at peace. We say thank you to everybody, and I hope this message gets across to everybody, every English-speaking countries. Mi si anglais si bon hold dans les mi si parce que béninois comprend anglais. Sur 100 béninois 98 c'est anglais. Peu importe, nous d'audience, ouais. Mais si mes béninois, c'est anglais, mais fort. Donc, les béninois comprennent bien l'anglais. Et quand ils broken English, béninois non do. Béninois, c'est anglais. Donc, il y a le message de me passer, mais aussi. Donc, influenceur béninois, il fait ce quoi, ton porte-parole du gouvernement, ton mot français, donc, il m'a besoin de message, il m'a besoin de passer message dans béninois parce que vous êtes déjà au courant de tout. Le message, c'est pour ceux qui parlent anglais. Frère, mettons, les États-Unis, les Suisse, les pays anglophones, les Nigeria, pays à côté, les noms d'anglais. Where's-on do baïdo, anglais maintenant, il monte nous comprend. Merci à tout le monde. Thank you very much to everybody. God bless you. And remember to come to Benin. We are in December, and this December will be hot. Artists like Davido, Burna Boy, Whiskey, Tiwa Savage, they will all be coming to Benin this December to perform on the same stage. So don't miss out. It's bubbling in Benin. Our country is peaceful, and everything is going on perfectly. God bless you all.